Welcome to the first ever episode of Holy, a series where we mix a little bit of cozy girly time with a whole lot of real conversation. I wanted to create a space where us girls can come together, we can connect, we can unwind, we can celebrate who we already are and who we're becoming. So see this as like girlfriend time with a sprinkle of faith and a whole lot of glow. I am going to make some tea. I suggest you make some too, or you can make some coffee, some hot chocolate, whatever warm drink you prefer. And then we'll head upstairs and do some skincare and chat. On the first episode of Holy, I really wanted to talk about pivoting in life. I feel like that is something that I really had to learn to do in the last couple of years, and I thought it would be the perfect first episode because I could tell you a lot about it. I'm going to start with a mask. This is from Caudalie. It's their instant detox mask. And I actually received a full skincare routine from them as a gift. This video is not sponsored yet. I really wanted to try this one out because I've only had a sample. But to give you a little backstory on where the whole pivoting started, back in the day, if you didn't know this yet, I had a YouTube channel that I grew to a pretty decent following. And I was 17 at the time that I started that channel, and a couple of years ago I actually heard God tell me that it was time to let that channel go. It also really wasn't serving me anymore, if I'm being completely honest, but to let that channel go and to start a new channel with a completely new vision. And I remember being very discouraged to do it. I really did not want to. I mean, imagine you grow a channel to 36,000 subscribers over the period of 9 years. I want to say 9 years. It could also be 10. I'm not really sure, but basically a very long time. You know, all of your hard work, everything you poured your blood, sweat, and tears into it, and then out of nowhere you hear that you should give it up and start from scratch. At first, I honestly felt really sad about doing it. I was like, God, I don't really want to. But then at the same time, the channel wasn't serving me anymore. I didn't feel happy about my channel at all and the way that it was performing. And even the things that I was posting was kind of just mediocre. I'm gonna let this dry for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'm gonna tell you something that I have never shared on this channel before. Okay, the mask is almost dry, not completely, but almost. But once I kind of got okay with the idea of, okay, we're starting up this new thing, I started getting really excited about all the things that I had come up with that I really wanted to post on this new channel. I also got the opportunity to potentially, or wasn't even potentially, it was like a definite thing at the moment that I was going to sign with this really big agency in Italy. And as you know, Italy, fashion capital of the world, they were working with some of the biggest brands, like dream brands that you would love to work with. They were already working with really big influencers, so it was like a legit thing, right? And they were coming to Amsterdam and they were going to start up an agency, like a division of their agency already in Italy, and they were going to move to Amsterdam and then have Dutch creators under them as well. And this was like dream come true. Couple of months go by. I am posting my content and I'm working on my content and working really hard on it and having it be like this professional and like exact vision that I had in my head. They decide that the deal is not going through. And as you can imagine, is it dry enough? Oh, not on my nose at all. Okay, one more second. As you can imagine, After working for so many years trying to get my dream off of the ground, for someone that important, right? Or like a company, an agency that important to actually believe in my talent, that was a big deal for me. And that following through completely shook me to my core. Like, I was down really bad. I was comparing myself to everybody, as you can imagine. I just started to really get that feeling of like, oh, maybe I'm not as good as I thought. Maybe my numbers really do mean that much, because I was putting a lot of my self-worth on numbers and what other brands and other important people thought of me, or even if they wanted to work with me or not. And I knew it wasn't healthy. I know. Same thing with comparing yourself. It's like, it's not healthy, you shouldn't be doing it. But for some reason, you just keep on doing it. This mask honestly feels so nice. I'm gonna take my ring off because I have a bit of sensory issues. I don't like to be wet and have my ring on. And then I'm gonna take the Caudalie Vino Pure gentle cleanser. That's what it is. I'm just gonna take a little bit of it. Wait, I should wet my face first. And honestly, once I had enough of that feeling of feeling like I had to compare myself to everyone, feeling like the numbers were what made me, and putting or attaching all of my worth to the numbers and the companies that wanted to work with me, once I decided hey, it's enough now, you can't continue living on this way, that's when things really started to change. No, don't get me wrong, everything that I'm about to tell you right now is still a work in progress. I'm still working through it and trying to be the best version of myself. I am definitely not there yet, but what I love about the potential of this series is that I am talking you through my actual current emotions when it comes to certain topics, because very often you see stories about people that have already been through it and they're done with it and it's not their reality. You don't always see people talk about the lows and the highs together combined in real time. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I like about this, the potential of this series. Let me wash my face. The first thing that I really worked on was my relationship with God. I've always had a relationship with God, but I feel like in the last year, it went completely up a notch. I feel like he finally allowed me to be in a position where I had to completely surrender. So in the time frame of, if we look at me getting officially donezo, I want to say dropped, but it's not dropped. It's more just not signed with the agency. And last year, it's a 2-3 year time period. But in between that time, I had a lot of beautiful high moments. I mean, I married my best friend, but at the same time, I graduated college. I graduated college, and things career-wise just were not that great. We can do a whole episode on post-grad depression, because definitely been through it. Probably still going through it, if I'm being completely honest. I'm now taking the Vino Pure toner. Oh, I can put my ring back on. But I've been unemployed now for almost a year, and as you can imagine, being unemployed is not really a nice position to be in. It really made me think about just my position in life and how I want it to be different, right? Because as you can imagine, when I lost my job initially and I was trying to be positive, after months and months and months of rejections, I was starting to lose that positivity. But in the meantime, we'll talk about that another day if you want to, about whole losing your job and keeping the faith and all of that. That could also be an episode. Let me know what kind of episodes you would like to see. There's a lot of things we could talk about. But in that time period, I managed to get a lot of time with God, because I had all the time in the world to decide for myself what I wanted to do with it. And one of the main things that I really focused on was building my relationship with God so that I could really work on moving by faith and not by sight. And it was hard. Like there's still moments where it's hard, if I'm being completely honest. I have this thing where I want to control everything, and I had to learn to let go of wanting to control everything. I'm still learning, but it's one thing I had to learn. I'm gonna take the blemish control serum now. I like to do like 2 pumps for my whole face. It's more than enough. Another thing that really helped me in the process of pivoting was really focusing on my mindset and habits. One of the really big ones, especially when it came to all the rejections, is just trying to embrace it. Try to see it as a thing of, oh, God doesn't want me there, or this is not what God has like in store for me. The second that you change that mindset, it opens up a whole new world. I noticed, for example, one of the things that actually happened to me is I got this opportunity after months of being unemployed to work at this pretty cool company. It was a makeup company, but what they wanted from me is that I wouldn't be allowed to post on my personal social media about my relationship with Jesus. And I had to say no to that job, which you can imagine was kind of hard because, like, hello, like I want a job. But really understanding that that clearly was not for me completely changed my mind. Another thing that also helped me a lot was to prioritize my mental health a lot more. I noticed that staying off of my phone helps me a lot. It helps me a lot with the whole trying not to compare your life to other people thing, but it also really helps to just enjoy life for what it is and seeing the beauty in it, seeing the beauty in change, being resilient to everything that you're going through. So if that's something that you struggle with, to really, stay on your phone all the time, put the phone down, girl. I do lots is like dramatic, but I exercise now, which helps me a lot to just also get out of the house, do things. As someone that is unemployed, I stay in the house very often, so I really have to get out. I also go on walks now, which helps a lot. I feel like morning walks especially are really good for my mental health. If you choose to walk in the morning, try to do that the second that you get up, or no, talk to God first and then you go for your little walk, okay? But do that without being on your phone. Put the phone away. You could do a little podcast could work, or just a little jazz music. That's usually what I like to do, but don't walk and scroll. Like that defeats the whole purpose. I think I should do some moisturizer now. This is the Vino Pure Moisturizing Mattifying Fluid. So I'm also a little clumsy. And another thing that really helped me was and is goal setting. So what I like to do is I set goals for every single day. If I don't achieve the goal, it's not the end of the world. Set goals for your day, set goals for your week, set goals for your month, quarter, year, and just do your best to try and achieve them. But also be really kind with yourself if you don't end up achieving some of your goals. Because what I try to remind myself, and this is something that you could maybe also say to yourself, literally nothing matters except for going to heaven. That's like my motto. Here are some of the things that I wished that someone had told me. Life is going in a different direction than you dreamed of it going. But I think that one of the most important things that I've learned is you just gotta let God do God and just go with the flow. Like, girl, sit in the boat and let him take care of it. Another one is that you're never too late to start over again. It's something that I'm still kind of struggling with, if I'm being completely honest, because there are things that I wanted to have achieved by 30, and there's no way I could achieve them in the next couple of months before I turn 30. So yeah, still dealing with that one, but it just genuinely is never too late though. This is a reminder for myself as well. So that was some very nice quality time. It's very therapeutic, if I do say so myself. With 30 around the corner for me, I am learning to just let go of all the expectations and like the pressure that I feel when it comes to accomplishing certain things. And I hope that you do too, no matter what age you are. If any of this resonates with you, I would love to hear your story. Please let me know in the comments if you have ever had to pivot, if you ever started over, and if you did, how was that for you? If you were too scared to, please let me know that as well. Maybe we can encourage you to still start over if it's necessary at this point in your life. I really want this space to be a space where we can connect, we can learn from each other, because I feel like that's one of those things that's just, really important in life, to be able to learn from other people's experiences. And if you want more of these holy videos, please let me know as well. I would love to share more about the things that I am going through and the things that I'm learning about, in hopes that it can help you in your life as well. Please like this video and subscribe down below. See you next time. And then we'll head upstairs to do some skincares and chat. Skincares? Who does skincares? Scene 1. Action. That is so much better. Just you're hanging with the girls. There's no pressure. We're just having fun. We're enjoying each other's company. Like, they're just fun. Like funsy vibes. It was good. Like I could continue. But it's not what I wanted to say.